Now, the creative writing task set by our organisers this year was around the theme of birds and beasties, with the aim to encourage entrants to write about a bird or beastie that they may have encountered themselves in their house or garden, woodland or nearby park. Now, I haven't seen all the entries myself, but our organisers have told me that the overall standard and variety continues to improve every year, and it made the judging process a very hard but enjoyable task. So, in our next section, we're going to welcome our first readers to the light, and I'm delighted to introduce Sophie Murtaza from St. Mary's Roman Catholic Primary School, Nathan Page from St. Margaret's Roman Catholic Primary, and Konrad Pawlikowski, I hope I got that right, I had enough briefing on it earlier this evening, from Paul Cross Primary, who are going to read their own award-winning entries from the P4/5 category. So can I please welcome Sophie first of all up to the stage, and a big round of applause.
Peacock. Peacock butterfly. In a bush with folded wings, my presence hidden from all things. The birds fly past, they cannot see a single sight of little me. Camouflaged to look like a dead leaf, a hidden secret I hide beneath. For when my wings are open wide, four eyes appear, my beautiful side. I flutter around all the sights to see, my stunning wings protecting me. A race, collecting nectar just like a bee, a race to each flower, hope the birds cannot see. For they would enjoy me as a meal, life as a butterfly is pretty unreal.
Well done, and thank you very much for that, Sophie. Now, could I ask Nathan, please, to come to the stage?
The story of a snail. One day there was a snail called Snape. He wasn't like any other snail, he was a clever one. The reason that he was so clever was because he had built himself a bird-proof home made out of sticks and his slime. He was munching on a leaf when he saw a small green thing crawling across the forest floor. So he jumped onto his leaf that floated slowly down to the forest floor, and he landed right beside the small green thing. The thing said it was a caterpillar. The caterpillar said its name was Colin. They spent many days together. A week after, Colin was getting fat. He was eating more than Snape. Colin said it was natural. A few days later, he was even bigger than Snape's shell. A week later, Colin had found a tree tall enough to transform on, so he climbed it and started to build a cocoon. Another week later, he had turned into a butterfly. He flew around to find Snape. When he landed in front of Snape, he didn't recognize Colin.
Thank you very much for that, Nathan. And now could I finally call Konrad to the stage?
Creepy crawlies, colorful, wonderful, beautiful butterflies, slimy, slow, helpless slugs, salvaging through the long, overgrowing grass, in which spiders dark black are pouncing at creeping away dirty beetles, caterpillars camouflaging, worms wiggling under the ground, dragonflies gliding silently through the air, to find some wasps hiding in oak trees, which are sucking all the water from the strawberry plants to dry up, as well as all the apple and pear trees, some radish plants with lavender, crops and a mango tree, crows crowing, pigeons croaking, robins looking for something to eat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning, and the insects think it's an extraordinary day. This is our garden harmony.
Well, thank you very much to the three of you. I'm sure you'll all agree that's an incredible standard of writing. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to present the prizes to the finalists and highly commended entries in the P4/P5 category. So when your name is announced, please come up to the stage and collect your prize bag and certificate from Councillor Hines on my right. Alan, our photographer, will take pictures as they are handed to you. So first of all, could we have Miguel Bedoy from Tollcross Primary and for his poem, Dragonfly. And could we now have Charlie Foggo from Davidson's Mains Primary and for his winning poem, The Snail. And now could we have Sophie Murtaza from St Mary's Roman Catholic Primary School with the poem, Peacock Butterfly. And once again, Nathan Page, St Margaret's Roman Catholic Primary as well, The Story of a Snail. Iona Rankin, also from St Mary's Roman Catholic Primary School, for Birds and Beasties. They were doing well. Now, Lucy Steele from Craig Royston for her poem, The Ant. Callum Walker from Corstorphine Primary with his poem, The Hound and the Tit. Cara Wallace from Lawn Primary School with her poem, The Unteachable Phoenix. Now we have two highly commended entries. The first one from Iona McLaren from Blackhall Primary with her poem, Spring is Here. And once again, in the highly commended category, Konrad Pawlikowski from Tollcross Primary with his poem, School Garden of Life. Now, for the next part of this evening's ceremony, I'm delighted to welcome three more young readers. Matthew Lewis from South Morningside Primary, Josh Nichols from Craigentinny Primary, and Chelsea Reid from Castleview Primary, who are going to read their award-winning entries. So could you please all give a very warm welcome to Matthew, first of all, up to the stage.
In the midnight world, the swift hunter's feet pad, enjoying the meal he just had. All of a sudden, a sharp movement, as he prowls the forest until his heart is content. He moves slowly as his ears prick up in the air. As he goes into a long stare, he finds his target, a little mouse, who's being interested in a woodlouse. He does not notice the predator's glare. He turns his back and doesn't care. A flash of red and the mouse is dead. He runs away, making sure he's not seen, leaving no traces of where he has been. But when others come out to play, he is the prey who runs away.
Could you all please welcome Josh up to the stage?
The spider, black and hairy, quickly scurrying along the ground, as black as oil, spinning spider webs like silk. The spider is a secret agent sneaking into someone's house. The spider, poisonous and deadly, silently moving up the wall, as scary as a ghost, legs as long as a stick. The spider, moving cautiously up the plug hole.
And finally, could you please welcome Chelsea up to the stage?
Starlings wind swiftly past by my face. The night dance begins. All the family and friends are coming to join. We carefully take off smoothly in the air, the thermals leading us in our waltz, moving effortlessly like a school of flying fish. We dance until the moonlight rises. One by one we move to the enormous trees to roost, branches heavy with black magic, moving close to snuggle up warm. Cloud of sleep takes us away until morning light. Daybreak leads us to the morning dance.
Great, now we're coming to the point in which we're going to present the finalists in the highly commended entries in the primary 6 and 7 category. So I'm going to invite Councillor Hines once again, I was going to say back on the stage, but to move forward a metre on the stage to present the certificates for these. So once again, when your name is announced, please come forward to the stage and collect your prize and certificate, and once again we'll have a photo with Alan. So first of all, we have Flossie Barlas from Cargilfield School with the poem, The Osprey. And now next is Soraya Halliday from Craigentinny Primary with the poem, The Worm. Sian James from Craiglockhart Primary with the poem, The Kingfisher. Matthew Lewis from South Morningside Primary with his poem, fox. And now Josh Nichols from Craigentinny Primary with his poem, The Spider. And Chelsea Reid once again from Castleview Primary with a poem, Starlings. Nicole Turner from Hermitage Park Primary with the poem Birds and Beasties. Abigail Wallace from Cargilfield School with the poem The Flying Thief. We have now 2 entries in the highly commended category, and the first one is for Lauren Constable of George Watson's College with the poem The Kingfisher's Diary. And lastly, Nathan Ezra Jackson from James Gillespie's Primary, my old school, with the poem The Meeting.
Now, as I said, the moment we've all been waiting for to announce the overall prize winner. And I say it must have been a very, very difficult decision with all this really good work. And to help me do this, I want to call on James Macnab from Cargilfield School, who was last year's prize winner, and he's going to help me to give out the prize. Come on, James, remember, from last year. Just come on, James. Very nice to see you again. You've been writing poems more? Good, good. A very worthy winner last year, I can tell you. Now, this year's prize winner is Nathan Page of St Margaret's RC Primary School. Come on, Nathan. Come here. There you go. Yep. Okay.